Hey, what's poppin', AI? I'm Alex.
And I'm Anthony. Welcome back to another episode of The Exchange.
This week we'll be talking about celebrity divorce, recap on MLB World Series, and the gritty truth of the Occupy movement here in America.
All that and more, so stay tuned.
Remember the saying that celebrity marriages don't last? Well, Kim Kardashian and NBA player Kris Humphries are getting a divorce just after 72 days. Kim filed for divorce in Los Angeles Supreme Court, citing irreconcilable differences. Kim stated that she just jumped into something she wasn't ready for.
This is Kim K's second divorce? That's right. The reality star was married to Dorman Thomas in 2000. The two were married for only 4 years, and since Kim has had several other celebrity relationships. You have to admit that this divorce is very questionable. Some entertainment sources say that the divorce could have a lot to do with the NBA lockout. Could this reality couple have let money, or lack thereof, cause their breakup in just 10 short weeks?
Some people are saying that Kim was not feeling Humphries wanting to settle down in Minnesota, where she would have to separate from her family in LA. Then there's also other rumors that are saying that she did it for the money. Tell us what you think on our Exchange Facebook page.
I'm starting to think maybe a guy isn't the problem. Maybe Kim just can't keep a man. Alex. More unsobering news in the entertainment. The Rum Diary starring Johnny Depp. This film was a piece that Depp produced as a tribute to the friend that passed away recently. Though this piece was very sentimental to Depp, it didn't do too hot in the box office. This was a poor business choice for Depp, a star worth about $72 million. This piece was also Depp's first attempt at producing, and it only grossed around $5 million.
Johnny Depp seemed like a cool kind of guy. Maybe it just wasn't for the money.
Maybe.
There are those that are in the spotlight because they have the love for the craft, and then there's some that's in it for the fame, and there's others that are just infamous.
Those individuals include 35-year-old Chris Chaney. Chaney is a man accused of hacking the emails of celebrities Christina Aguilera, Mila Kunis, and Scarlett Johansson's emails.
The Jacksonville, Florida native made his court appearance in California. He has been indicted on 26 counts, such as unauthorized access to computer and wiretapping. If convicted, Chaney will face up to 121 years in prison. A trial date is set for December 27th.
If you missed the World Series last week, you really missed an electrifying series. As you know from last week's, Game 6 was delayed due to inclement weather. Now, if you know anything about baseball, you know that a day off in a series can really throw things way off. The Cardinals, however, warmed up and showed up, taking Game 6 and taking the series in Game 7.
In Game 7, things were also looking ugly for St. Louis. Cardinal fans even began leaving the Busch Stadium, but David Freese wasn't about to go out like that. Freese, who was down 7-5 with 2 outs and 2 strikes, scored 2 runs, which turned the game around for the Cardinals, who are now the champions. David Freese's game choices also led him to be the series MVP. Congratulations to the Cardinals. You guys have earned it.
This past weekend, there was a rookie showdown between Chris Ponder and Cam Newton. We were able to see each of their skills on the field. Excuse me. Carolina Panthers led for most of the game into the fourth quarter when Ponder drove his teams down the field to take a field goal lead. With a little over 2 minutes, Cam led the offense down the field into field goal position, but the kicker, Orlando Murray, missed the game-winning field goal and gave the Vikings the win.
The Detroit Lions, who really had fallen off last week, got back into gear when they crushed the Denver Broncos 45-10.
Ugly.
Tim Tebow, in his second start of the season, had a poor game, completing 18 of 39 passes for 172 yards. Even after such a poor performance, he will start again for at least another week with the Broncos, play the 4-3 Oakland Raiders.
Speaking of the Raiders, they have just added receiver Hoosh Manzada. Hoosh Manzada was a former teammate of Carson Palmer's in Cincinnati, so they already have established the chemistry. This is an advantage. Let's see what the Raiders will do with it.
Don't forget, the Pro Bowl is just around the corner, so make sure you football fans cast your vote to ESPN.com.
A day of peaceful protesting in Oakland was followed by a day of violence. It all started with the protesters' bonfire in the middle of downtown street. Police moved in on the hundreds of protesters to access the bonfire's 15-foot flames. Police warned the protesters to clear the area before firing several rounds of tear gas and a flashbang grenade to clear the area.
The nearly 5-hour protest at the port of Oakland, the nation's 5th busiest shipping port, was intended to highlight a day-long general strike in the city, which prompted secondary rallies in New York, Los Angeles, and other cities across the nation. Police estimated that a crowd about 3,000 had gathered at the port at the height of the demonstration around dusk. Some had marched from the city downtown, while others had been bused to the port. It was reported that until the incident, the Occupy Oakland protests were peaceful.
What is your cell phone company not mentioned to you? Well, according to an article in the CNN, Verizon Wireless, AT&T, and other service providers are selling your information to third-party companies.
Verizon Wireless changed their policy mid-October to allow companies to keep records or location and web browsing data. They even have specified like gender and age. Other major companies like AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint have done this also. They sell this data as demographic information so that target marketing can be accomplished no matter where they are.
That's right. iPhones, Androids, and other smartphones contribute to these activities by their advanced technologies like their deeply personalized tracking device. This seems like a great idea for both companies and consumers, but is it safe or ethical? Let us know what you think on our Exchange Facebook page.
After the break, we'll take a look at what AI students are getting into.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Step, it's time. Know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Straight out of the tray for we good. I'm repping everybody hood. Yeah, he the one. I got them haters watching the way I make my paper, cause I'm getting it with precision.
So I met this guy the other night, right? And he really turned me on. You know him. He goes by the name Wahid.
I'm the one. I'm the one. Wahid, yeah, I'm the one. Wahid, the one.
Welcome back to The Exchange, and a shout out to Raheem Harris.
This week in Campus Life, we take a look at one of our very own, Michael Tyree.
Michael is a student in the graphic design major here at AI, but graphic design isn't the only way this artist expresses himself. Let's take a look.
Michael Tyree, also known as Mike Teasy. I go here for graphic design. This is my second to last quarter. Things I like to do on the side is like music. I'm a gospel artist. I dance as well. I've been dancing since I was like about 3 or 4 years old. Got better with the years, you know. So last quarter, I started my own dance club at the school. And first the name was Dope. It stands for Dancers of Perfected Elements. It's a pretty dope name, you know. But we had to change it because they thought it was promoting drugs. But anybody can join. Anybody can join. You ain't got to be able to dance. You can come to learn. All that good stuff. I'm willing to teach. I had some shows scheduled, but since the people with the faithfulness and stuff like that, kind of leery. So we've been doing shows here. We actually just did Thriller for Halloween, so it's pretty cool. Top 5 dancers, I would say Michael Jackson, of course, James Brown, Chris Brown, that dude Mike Teasy, Tight Eyes. Yeah, that's 5 I can name right there.
That's a very talented individual. We better keep an eye out for Mr. Tyree. He's definitely going places. Now it's time for my favorite part of the show. This part of the show is where things get for real. This week on For Real, we take a look at my co-host Alex. Alex has used the lack of color to show off her true color. Let's take a look.
I walk through these doors all by myself. I stand here with a look of confusion, being lost. I don't know what to do. As I sit here with this pen and paper in my hand, I sit here and I wonder, where is my life going to end up? What am I going to do? What next hit am I going to write? As the words come to my head and I write it down, I realize in life that you are alone, but you are your only sound. This is a lesson of my life and my world. This is how I live. This is me.
All right, now Alex, can you tell us what inspires you as an artist?
Watching other people, seeing their work, and I truly want to get my voice out there. Like, I want to push to be known for something.
Okay, we see that this is a personal piece, so how often do you make personal connections in your work?
I make it pretty much all the time. I want people to see bits and pieces of my life. The whole thing may not be the truth, but there's a point that stands out.
Okay, so what advice would you give other artists that want to achieve this personal connection within their work?
Advice I give them is pretty much, be yourself, do what you need to do for you. Don't let other people put you down. Don't even care what other people say, because at the end of the day, this is your work and your title, your name is on it. Just do what you need to do.
All right, you heard it here first. Well, that's all we have this week on Exchange.
Join us next week for another episode. I'm Alex.
And I'm Anthony.
See you next week.
Deuce.